Om Sadashivasamārambhām Shankarācārya-madhyamām Asmadācārya-paryantām Vande Guru-paramparam Dayakaram Dayakaram Dhantam Dharma-pravartakam Pranamami Dayanandam Madhācārya-varam-param. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Om Narayanav Paro Vyaktat Andamavyaktasambhavam Andasyantastvime lokaha Saptadvipa cha medini. Twenty-fifth verse, continuing with the Bhashya, but first we'll chant the verse together. Daivameva pare yajñam yoginah paryupasate brahmagnava pare yajñam yajñenaivopajuhvati. As I explained yesterday, the first line is describing who? Karma Yogi. The second line is describing who? Jnani. And so, to continue with the two lifestyles that have been set forth in the second chapter and perfected in the third chapter, discussed in great detail in the third chapter, that same framework is continued. The two lifestyles, and the two lifestyles are what? Karma Yoga and the Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga means pursuit of the knowledge to the exception of every other pursuit. No other pursuit is there than knowledge. And so here also the same format is being talked about, and we saw the Daiva Yajna. What is Daiva Yajna? Done by Karma Yogis without desire for results, where they are freed of the desire for results. And then we also saw the other yajna. What does that constitute? That constitutes a complete revolutionization of one's vision, after which there is no gainer of the knowledge, there is no knower of the knowledge, where all that is there is one knowing being, which is Brahman, which is Atma, which is oneself. Up till here we have seen. And then these two are contrasted, because the first one is the method, the means, and the second line is what? The end. So there is a connection between the means and the end. So the sadhana is there, and then the sadhya is there. And then so here we also saw that this Atma Yajna, what does that talk about? This Atma Yajna, it is a very interesting Yajna. Brahmagnau, Brahma eva Agni, that Agnihi. Then this Yajnam here is Atmanam. Atmanam here is Ahankara. So this Ahankara, which is the truth of the body mind, not the truth, which is the owner, upper of the body mind sense complex, then what is this Atma? This Yajna is called Atma. Why? Because the Amarakosha, the ancient dictionary, says so. Up till then we have seen. And then Tam Atmanam Yajnam. So that Atma, that Yajna is actually oneself, Ahankara. But what is the truth of the Ahankara? Here it is said, Paramarthataha Parameva Brahma Santam. So in reality, what is the Ahankara? Brahman. Parabrahman. Because everything is Brahman. The truth of the Ahankara is also what? Brahman. The only problem is the Ahankara, the I notion, refuses to accept that. That is why it wants to break off and see itself as a separate entity, and this separation causes samsara, anxiety. That's why it's called separation anxiety. Separation from Bhagavan causes anxiety. And so therefore, this Ahankara that thinks of itself as separate from everything else, alienated from everything else, this I notion, what is it in reality? Paramarthataha, in reality, parameva brahma tat, saha. So that Ahankara is param brahma alone. It's not anything else. The truth of the Ahankara is what? Brahman. And then why does it separate itself? Because it is buddhi adi upadhi samyuktam. It is endowed with what? Buddhi, manaha, deha, pranaha, indriyani. It is endowed with upadhi. What is upadhi? Upa, samipe, sthitva, something that sitting near something bestows its dharmas, attributes onto something else is called upadhi. Swadharmam anyatra adatte. So that which gives or lends its, what is that called? Its attributes to something else. Like our stock example for upadhi is what? Crystal and japa kusumam. So you put the red flower, japa means hibiscus. Hibiscus flower you put next to the crystal and the crystal appears red. You take the flower away and the crystal has zero attributes, color, etc. So the color of the flower in association with the crystal appears to lend its dharma to the crystal without really doing so. Similarly, what is the crystal here? Body, mind, sense complex is the crystal, correct? Yes? Yeah, Atma is the crystal, yes. Just checking to see if everybody is awake. Oh. So Atma is the crystal, the body, mind, sense complex is the upadhi, which appears to lend to the Atma the attributes of actor, karta, bhokta, recipient of other people's actions, recipient of karma phala, which appears to lend to the Atma various attributes and functions which the Atma is naturally free of. So therefore, this Ahankara, which is part of this assemblage called the Upadhi, Buddhi Adi. Adi means we have to bring in all the other things like the Buddhi. Buddhi, Manaha, what else? Chittam, Ahankara we have to put, and then we can also say Deha, Pranaha, Indriyani, Iti, in this form Upadhi Samyuktam. Full of this, endowed with this kind of an upadhi. And then, what is this Atma? The Atma is a sitting duck for all kinds of attributes to be mistaken for it. That is the sitting duck, like the crystal. Any passing color next to the crystal looks yellow, crystal looks green, crystal looks blue. At the drop of a hat, the crystal appears to change color without really doing so. Similarly, the partially known I, since the I is self-evident, I know I am, but please don't ask the next few questions. What are the next few questions? Who am I? All these things don't ask. I know I am. Just like the snake is there in the twilight or the early morning light, snake is there, and then what is that snake? What is the rope? Snake is there, something is there. I think snake is there because I don't see the rope clearly. So, similarly, Atma is there. something is there. Asti kaschit swayam nityam. I know that there is something there, which is self-evident to me. But don't ask what is the nature of it. That has to be taught. It cannot be intuited. That has to be taught. That has to be properly understood. And so therefore this Atma, which is this Ahankara, which is in reality the Param Brahman alone, along with the that which stays along with the Upadhi, and then that which becomes the sitting duck for all kinds of attributes which from which it is free. So adhyastha, mistaken, adhyastha means projected, sarva upadhi dharmakam. So this is what this Atma is what? That which has various upadhis thrown on it, like the red flower, green leaf, red flower, purple flower, all that is thrown, the colors of that are thrown on the crystal without really being thrown. This I, which is in reality Param Brahma, has the dubious distinction of taking on all the dharmas which does not belong to me. So this Ahankara, which is endowed with various upadhis, is offered into the fire of consciousness, which is what? Nirupadhikam Brahma. So you don't pluck the Ahankara out wherever it is. Yesterday we had a discussion, where is the Atma? You don't pluck the Atma out, you don't pluck the Ahankara out, it's not possible. So what is intended here is a Manasa Yajna, not a real Yajna in the sense of offering in the fire, a mental Yajna through cognition, a cognitive Yajna, where I understand the person who is doing this kind of an offering is understanding that even though I am endowed with the body, mind, sense complex, what am I in reality? Nirgunam Brahma. So in this understanding, what is happening? The Ahankara, along with all the accoutrements, are committing a polite suicide in this understanding. They are giving themselves up. That is the yajna, that is the sacrifice. So it's not that the prana stops functioning after knowledge, it's not that the buddhi stops functioning after knowledge. Thank God. Yeah. That would be a travesty. Nobody will want to have Atmajnanam if the buddhist wants to stop functioning after knowledge. No, it doesn't stop functioning, it continues. But it is badhita. Badhita means what? Negated as a separate entity. So even though I am going around with the body, mind, sense complex, even though one is going around, one clearly and fully knows I am not, all these are just attributes, and then I am the one who is free of all attributes. And this recognition itself, there is a sacrifice, there is a giving up of that separateness and that penchant for seeing oneself as a separate entity from everything else. That is the lakshana. So, adhyastha sarvodpadhi dharmakam ahuti rupena yajnena atmana eva ukta lakshanena upajuhvati prakshipanti. So in the fire of the knowledge that I am free of all upadhis, the upadhis, as it were, are sacrificed without really losing their functions. They are there, but then it is just a upalakshana, it is a metaphor. Then he explains this very beautifully. Sopadhikasya atmanaha. So this I, which is what? This ahankara, which is the truth, the truth of which is Brahman, which is endowed with various upadhis, various kinds of attributes, nirupadhikena parabrahma swarupena eva yat, which is in fact, what is its real swarupa? Nirupadhikam. Sopadhikam means upadhina saha vartate. that which is residing along with the upadhi. Nirupadhikam means from whom all the upadhis have gone. So, even though the Atma is in this body, mind, sense complex, obtains as the one that is sporting all these upadhis, in reality it is what? Free of all upadhis. And what is it then? Parabrahma Swarupena eva yat darshanam tasmin homaha tam kurvanti brahmatmaika darshana nishthaha sannyasinaha ityarthaha. So then this kind of a vision, the one who has, and this yajna means sacrifice. What is the sacrifice? Everything that is finite has been cast into this fire of infinite knowledge. The knowledge that I am infinite. It's not knowledge of the infinite, the knowledge that I am infinite. So then the finite, whatever is finite has been consumed. What is left is infinite. So this cognitive shift is called this jnana yajna. So then he concludes, saha ayam samyak darshana lakshanaha yajnaha daiva yajnadishu yajneshu upakshipyante brahmarpanam ityadi shlokaihi shreyan dravyamayad yajnad etc. parantapa ityadina stutyartham. So he says that from 424 to 431 or 32, this is a particular section. The section which is going to begin now. One section was concluded in 424. What was that? Akartra Atma. The section that the Atma is not the doer was concluded in 424. And now what is the new section that is going to begin? The new section that is going to begin from 25 to 32 or wherever that verse is, it is going to be listing the various kinds of disciplines, and it's also going to be listing the pursuit of knowledge. And how is it going to show them? There is a twofold purpose there. First is various kinds of disciplines that we are going to see, and Atma Jnanam, they are not on a par. It's not like you do pranayama and I am doing Shravanam. You do yoga and I am doing, I am studying Upanishad. It's not like either or. It's not on a same par, because Brahma Jnanam, what does it necessitate? Adhikaritvam, the qualifications. So the various disciplines described are sadhanani, and then what is sadhya? Brahma Jnanam is the sadhya. So therefore, the disciplines are a means to an end, whereas Brahma Jnanam is the end in itself. To show this, the next section is begun. What is that number? Shreyan Dravyamayad Yajnat Jnanagyaf 33. Yeah, so from 25 to 33, this is the section that is begun to show two things. One is to show that, that these disciplines, whatever one is following in various ashrams in Rishikesh, for example. So you go somewhere, there is a commitment to yoga. Yoga ashram is there. There they are sitting and breathing and doing asanas. And then in some other ashram you go, they what is that called? Naturopathy ashram, they are not eating at all. They are just drinking water. Yeah, that is what it is. Naturopathy is a very interesting treatment. So, they teach you to breathe, air is free. They teach you to just drink water, water is also free. And then what? Then you are cured of most ailments, because most ailments begin in the stomach and wrong digestion. Very nice. So, they don't have a lot of, overhead expenditure, because they don't have to feed the people who come. Yeah, you just are on a water diet, no problem. Yeah. And unlike Ayurveda, there is not much other, bodily massage and oils and all these things. This is a very good therapy, actually. Yeah, very nice therapy, because one is actually literally cleaned out. So there it is a therapy of what kinds of food not to eat, all these things. That's also a discipline. And in some other places, there are disciplines based on, like some other ashrams are a meditating ashram. You just go meditate the whole day, like what is that called? Vipassana. You just go meditate the whole day. They keep having 10-day, what is that called? Camps. 10-day camps where you sit and meditate the whole day. Of course, the first 3 days you feel like running away, but then after that you settle down because who can meditate the whole day? But there, that is also a form of discipline. So, first to show that these disciplines are not away from Bhagavan. You cannot say one discipline is better than the other, because it depends on, see, there are so many different kinds of people. What appeals to one may not appeal to another. What is good for one may not be good for another. So for the person who doesn't eat at all, if you tell them keep on being on a water diet, that may not be good for them. And then for a person who is who already has done a lot of yoga, pranayama, maybe they are ready for something else. So like this, you cannot rank the disciplines, number one, and then number two, you cannot say that that they are ends in themselves. This is very clearly talked about in the 32nd verse, I think, is that karmajan viddhitan sarvan evam jnatva vimokshase. This is all part of karma. It comes in the realm of the first, what is that called, portion of the Veda. This is karma kanda. Yes, they are helping you to graduate, to understand yourself. So they are helping indirectly. They are auxiliary means to qualifying for Atmajnanam, but they are not directly going to give you Atmajnanam. You still have to pursue the knowledge. So the end cannot be confused for the means. This is the second reason why this section is begun. And the third reason why this section is begun is to show that of all this will lead to only finite ends. And then, whereas Jnana Yajna, Yajna means discipline here. Jnana Yajna, the pursuit of Atmajnanam, alone can give moksha. And so to show that, to extol the virtues of Atmajnanam, this section is begun. Because why should it be extolled? Why should it be praised? Shrotra buddhi prarochanartham. In order to give like an appetizer for all the shrotas. So if you go somewhere to eat at a restaurant, you order some appetizers, and depending on that, you know how the main dish will be. So the appetizers are supposed to excite the palate. And then after that, you are ready for the main meal. And so these disciplines are what? Appetizers. And then to to extol the virtues of the main meal here, which is Atmajnanam, Brahmajnanam, and to show that these disciplines, important as they are, and yes, there are numerous people committed to them, they are still don't hold a candle to Atmajnanam. So we will go through this very, very quickly, because there is not much to talk about in these disciplines. We already know most of them. 26th verse. Shrotraadinindriyanyanye Sanyamagnishu juhvati Shabdadin vishayanyanye Indriyagnishu juhvati. Okay, so now the first yajna. So don't think the first yajna was verse number 25. Verse number 25 was bridging these two sections and then introducing this particular section, and going by falling back on the two kinds of lifestyles. So this is the first yajna. So two yajnas are described, one in line 1 and one in line 2. So let us understand. Shrotradin indriyani anye. Shrotradini Indriyani. So Anye means some people, what do? They offer, they do a yajna. What is the yajna? Indriyani Sanyamagnishu Juhvati. Juhvati, offer. They oblate. They offer the oblation. What is the oblation? All the Jnanendriyas. What are Jnanendriyas? The sense organs. All the sense organs are offered into a fire, because this is all the Upalakshana, the metaphor of yajna is being carried out. So for yajna we need three things minimum: offerer, fire and the offering. Three things we need. And so here Anye, that is the offerer, and then what do these Anye do? Some people, what do? So they offer, what is the ahuti? What is the oblation? Sense organs are the oblations. Shrotra adini. So Shrotram, Chakshuhu, all that you have to bring. Rasana, Granam, Tvak, all this you have to bring. So all these sense organs, now you need a fire. What is the fire? Sanyamagni. Sanyamagnishu, many fires, not one. There are multiple fires here. Why? Because there are multiple indriyas and multiple yajnas. So Shrotra yajna and then Chakshu yajna, all these separate yajnas are there. What they are we will see presently, don't worry. And then, so this is, so Sanyamagnishu Juhvati. Sanyamagnishu means self-mastery. Into the fire of self-mastery, all these various indriyas are the oblation. So self-mastery means the indriyas along with their objects are consumed or offered into the discipline called self-mastery, the mastery over the indriyas. This is a very important discipline, very important discipline. So, the mastery over the indriyas means what? So, whatever, so that is like everything I do, whatever I do mindfully. In Buddhism, they have taken it to an art form. In Zen, you see, I was at a Zen ashram once, and then there were about 1,000 people coming for meditation. And then the cushions, to put the cushions, there was a crew of 10 people. And the one person, two people would place the cushions, and then the third one would measure the distance between them. Exactly 24.5 inches separation. The whole hall was like that. It was so beautiful to watch. And then they would put a little cup of water for the meditator and a little bell in front of each cushion, exactly how it is. You could really, it was done with a measuring tape. And the whole time they are chanting. This is a very big discipline, because everything is mindfully done. Nothing is, and after that if you looked at the hall, it was just amazing. Even seeing that hall, you felt like meditating, because it was just so orderly. It was inviting you to come and sit and never leave. Like that it was. So this is a discipline where the sense organs are offered into the fire of self-mastery, meaning self-mastery is the end, and the sense organs are the oblation. The sense organs are like horses. We will see in the Kathopanishad, Indriyani Hayan Ahuhu. Why? Vishayamsteshu gocharan, because they have the habit of going around in the world of sense organs, sense objects, moving around in the world of sense objects. So what will they do? One horse will go there, nibble something, the other horse sees a water hole, wants to drink water, the third horse sees something that spooked it, and it goes like this, and then runs away. The fourth horse wants something else. The fifth horse wants to jump out of the fence into the other people's, place, or go off on the road. So the sense organs are like that. They love to just be distracted and play in the realm of the sense objects. Therefore, the mind has to be the pragraham, the reins, the first level of saying, no, you can't go there. But something wonderful is samosas are frying, I think, over there. No, right now you're sitting in meditation. Let the samosas fry. You don't fry along with them. You have to tell yourself. You tell yourself that, and then you come back to yourself. This is a kind of a mindful yajna. Everything that you do mindfully. Usually the mind is already gone. Everything becomes mechanical. I walk mechanically, I talk mechanically, I eat mechanically, I don't even know. And then after the person has eaten, what did you eat, you ask, they scarcely remember even what they just ate, let alone what they had for the meal in the previous day. And so therefore, this is a very important yajna, sanyamagnishu juhvati. So then the next yajna is looks funny, but it has a good, very good meaning. Shabdadin vishayanyanye indriyagnishu juhvati. This looks like the opposite. So Shabdadini means the sound, etc., sense objects. The sense objects are offered. Here also again we have three people, three entities. What is the first entity? The offerer, the yajamana. Who is that indicated? Anye. Anya, because there is a sandhi, it is followed by ikara. Therefore, anye. The same anye on top is also there. Anye. So these others. So who are they? Yajamanas. The performers of this particular yajna, these others, what are they doing? They are offering the sense organs, ears, eyes, etc. And then you need a fire, correct? So we have the offerer, we have the oblation. What is the oblation? Sense organs. Sense organs are the oblation. And then what is the fire? Indriya, sense objects, we should say. Sense objects are the offerings, and then what is the fire? Sense organs. This means, very funny, what is this? Sense objects are offered into the sense organs. Isn't that what is happening every day? All the sense objects are being offered into the sense organs. When I see, what is happening? The sense object, the object of sight is being offered to the eyes. It's already happening, one can say. No, that is not what is indicated. It is based, this yajna is based on certain mental and very practical decisions, that if I am a mumukshu, if I am a jignasu, I have to watch my consumption. What will I offer to my eyes to see? What will I offer to my ears to hear? What will I permit my tongue to taste? Like this, we have to make some judicious decisions. Otherwise, the very fragile pursuit of knowledge is afflicted, badly afflicted. So therefore, I have to be very careful what I consume. So if you keep looking at the phone all day long, then what will happen? You will need eye drops at the end of the day, because the eyes are tired, exhausted. The mind also is what? Exhausted. And some people do this. What is that called? Binge watching. Yes. So there are, for everything that you want, there is already, as I said, a yajna going on. So this is called Netflix yajna. And then what do they do here? So there will be movies after movies after movies, or TV shows after TV shows after TV shows, and you binge look, binge watch, whatever it is. You keep mindlessly consuming. Episode after episode, movie after movie after movie, you keep mindlessly consuming until one becomes truly mindless. This is how it is. Because one cannot stand oneself, so these are all distractions. And then since there is no miti, there is no kind of a limit to these kinds of consumption, these kinds of indulgences, we have to be our own monitor. That is the yajna mentioned here. Moderation, the yajna of moderation. What am I going to allow my eyes to see? What am I not going to allow the eyes to see? What am I going to allow? How much am I going to eat? How much am I going to listen? And what am I going to allow my ears to hear? So you're just going around in the ashram, just you happen to have a free minute and you just thought you will take a stroll, and then you encounter two people who are talking about somebody else, somebody that you know. And what is the first instinct? What happened? What? What did they do? Oh, they did like that? Oh, I never knew that they had this side to them. How did I know? I had no clue at all. Really? Is that the person? And then you become a Sherlock Holmes right then. What is the evidence? Where is the proof? Aha. Is it hearsay? No, you saw them yourself. Oh, that's very interesting. What are they doing now? Where are they? Oh, what kind of things happen in the ashram? This is the first kind of a thing, because I want to be in the know. Knowledge is control. Information is power. And so, not knowledge, information is control and power. I feel I am empowered. Kabhi kaam mein aayega, and if this person misbehaves with me, I can say, don't tell me what I should be doing. Look at yourself. I know all what you have done. So, this is not the kind of yajna described here. So, this is the Brahma Sutra says, Jnani Mukavat Tishthet, and Bahiravat Mukavat. Pretend that you cannot hear. Go away from there. Pretend that you cannot see. Pretend that you cannot speak. And so you slowly push off from there. You don't hang around there to find, okay, I won't participate, but what's the harm in listening? Literally you pluck the ears out and make them, you say, I'm listening only a little bit. I can't go closer without looking curious. So basically the ears grow a pipe or a wire, and it's over there, remote listening. No, let it be. These are all what? These are all just talk. Anya vacha pramunchatha, Upanishad says. Give up all other talk other than Vedanta. This is a very good yajna. Give up all talk other than Vedanta. Tell yourself, at least for one day a week, I'm going to talk only Vedanta. Then you will wish you were in Maunam, because that's easier. I'm going to talk only Vedanta. And then you will see how easy life becomes, how refreshing the change is. And then slowly you can do 2 times a week, and then 3 times a week, and then it becomes one's nature not to be interested in all these other things. So this is the kind of yajna where the sense organs, the sense objects are offered, and then to the needless objects of the senses are offered into the fire of the indriyas, and then the mind decides what to consume, how much to consume, etc. So then, you see, we have in all the Shanti Pathas we have this. May I see only that which is wonderful. So, sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramayaha. And then what's the third line? Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. What is bhadra? Bhadra means that which is auspicious. May I only see that which is auspicious. And here the commentator also gives another Shanti Patha. What is that? Bhadram karnebhihi shiniyama devaha, bhadram pashyema akshibhihi. So like this, these are all to help us to do this yajna, so that the focus remains on the knowledge and it's not scattered everywhere. And if you have this attitude that, you know what, this is nothing, it's just a little piece of gossip. in an ashram where there is zero entertainment, not even a television. And then how do you suppose I should just go day after day? Here I just listen to this gossip and I forget. You may say that. But that addiction has already started. So therefore, it is not as harmless as it seems. Next one. Sarvani indriya karmani pranindriya karmani prana karmani chapare atma samyamya yogagnau juhvati jnana deepite. Unlike 26, 27 is both the lines are one yajna. And this is the yajna called meditation. Here are people who are mumukshus and who may also be jignasus, and they are all sannyasis or brahmacharis living in an ashram, meaning they have a lot of time to do this. What is indicated by this? They have a lot of spare time, and what can they do? They can sit and meditate and perfect meditation. All day long, they can sit and meditate. So this is the yajna of meditation. So here, what is there? Sarva indriya karmani. Sarva indriya karmani means what? Jnanendriyas plus karmendriyas. That's why I said they have a lot of time. They don't have a lot of duties. And so they are sitting in meditation, contemplation, and then they have a desire for the knowledge, but then yet they have to perfect Shama and Dhamma. Shama Dhamma is not there. They are not enjoying yet a tranquil mind. So therefore they have taken to this lifestyle of meditation, this discipline of meditation. And what is there? Sarva indriya karmani. And then so prana karmani cha. Prana karmani means the breathing, etc. And that all is offered where? Atma Sanyama Yogagnau. Again, self-mastery. The fire is the same. Self-mastery is the fire. And then Juhvati, they offer. So what kind of a fire is it? Jnana Deepite Agnau. In the fire that is lit by Viveka and Vairagya. That is the Jnanam here. Jnanam is not Atma Jnanam. Please make a note of it there. Jnana Deepite Viveka Vairagya Deepite Agnau. Lit by Vairagya. Lit by Viveka. So they have Nitya Vastu Viveka. They have Vairagya. Without Vairagya, how can they sit for meditation whole life? They cannot do that. They cannot have a commitment to meditation without Vairagya. Vairagya is there, and then Vairagya is what is that? Vairagya is the light, and Viveka is the oil for that lamp. So together, lit by Viveka and Vairagya, that fire, which is the fire of Shama Dhamma, self-mastery, unto that fire they offer all the actions. They become actionless. They don't know that Atma is already actionless. They don't know that yet. They are in the process of knowing. And so they try to have a quiet, contemplative life where they master tranquility of the mind, non-reactivity of the sense organs. All this they master. These are who? Meditators. They are vanaprasthins perhaps, or they are in the ashram meditating. That is the next yajna. And then few other yajnas are given in 28. Dravya yajnastapo yajnaha yoga yajnastatha pare swadhyaya jnana yajnascha yatayash samshita vrataha. Yeah, so several yajnas are talked about here. Let us see them. one by one. So one is called Dravya Yajnaha. So Dravya Yajnaha is not a type of yajna. It is Bahuvrihi Samasa, which means it is describing the performers of this type of yajna. So what is that? So Dravya Viniyogam Kurvanti, Yajna Buddhya Kurvanti Ye Dravya Yajnaha. So the Dravya means here not materials used for yajna. Dravya literally means money, wealth. So when people come to Rishikesh from other places, they think this is a sacred place, Haridwar, Rishikesh and some other places like that in India. And so they go to the temple or they go to the ashram, and then whoever is in need, sometimes outside the temple people are sitting for food waiting for the prasada, and so to them they will offer all the money. These such people who do that. So Dravya Viniyogam means the disbursement of the money which they do, and those people who do that are committed to that because God has given them plenty, so they just want to help. So the people here also who offer, what is that called, Bhandara, and they give dakshina to the sadhus. This is called these are the people who are Dravya Yajnaha. Performers of this yajna are called Dravya Yajnaha. And then they go to Tirtheshu, and then Ye Kurvanti Te Dravya Yajnaha. The next one is called Tapo Yajnaha. And what is this Tapo Yajnaha? Tapas Yajnaha. The tapas itself is yajna for whom? Tapas is the yajna for whom are called what? Tapo Yajnaha. Tapas means various kinds of religious disciplines is called tapas. Standing on one leg, standing on the head, what else is there? Just not eating, not drinking on certain days at certain times. Many different kinds of tapas are there. So the people who do this kind of a yajna are called Tapo Yajnaha. So Tapaha Yajnaha Yesham Te Tapo Yajnaha. So then, so what do? They are committed to tapas. The whole day they are committed to tapas. Like Pujya Swamiji would talk about another Swami who occupied a hut next to his. And so that Swami would get up early in the morning, and he had a stone in front of his kutiya. Nobody knew why until they knew what he was doing. And that stone, what he would do, he would stand on his head using that stone. At 5 o'clock in the morning, he could be seen unmoving in the headstand. And Swamiji used to go to Kailas ashram from here, walking, and then he would go have his 2-hour Brahma Sutra class, and then go for bhiksha on the way back, and then come back in the afternoon, and that Swami was still on his head, standing. Yes. And everybody used to joke in those days. This is in the 60s in Rishikesh, and everybody used to joke that that stone had been hollowed out where his head was. This is a very big tapas. To stand on the head like that, unmoving for hours at a time, definitely a kind of a mastery. And so this is called, such people are called Tapo Yajnaha. And then what else is there? Then Yoga Yajnaha. Yoga Yajnaha, same thing. So Yoga Yajnaha means Pranayama Pratyaharadi Lakshana Yoga Yajnaha Yesham Te Yoga Yajnaha. So for whom, starting from Yogasana all the way to Samadhi, the Ashtanga Yoga as described by Maharshi Patanjali, that is the pursuit, and they are called Yoga Yajnaha. People given to that pursuit are called Yoga Yajnaha. And then what else? What else is there? Yoga yajnaha, prana, characterized by asana. What else? Yama, niyama, asana, iti lakshanaha, yogaha. And then what else? Tatha apare, certain other people, they are called Swadhyaya Yajnaha. Who are they? Swadhyaya Yatha Vidhi Rigvedadi Abhyasaha Yajnaha Yeshamte. So, those for whom the prescribed reading of their daily Vedas is a important vow or commitment are called Swadhyaya Yajnaha. There is a sentence that says Swadhyayo Adhyetavyaha. Where is it means one's own Veda must be studied. Where is it written? In the Vedas. How am I going to know? Until I read the Vedas, I don't know that I have to read the Vedas. Until, and then if I don't know how to read the Vedas and if it is written in the Vedas, how will I know? Here we say Vriddha Vyavaharaha. We see the elders practicing at home, reading their Veda, and then we also learn to do the same. And for whom that is the commitment. Swadhyaya Yajna is so Rigvedadi Swadhyaya Yajna, that is Rigvedadi Abhyasaha. That Abhyasa itself is the Yajna, commitment for whom they are called Swadhyaya Yajna. Then Jnana Yajnaha. Jnanam Shastrartha Parijnanam Yajnaha Yeshamte. So those who are not just content with the recitation of the Veda, but they also want to know the meaning. This is still Karma Kanda. First portion of the Veda is indicated here. So they want to know the meaning, how this ritual is done, not merely the description of the rituals. These are the various commitments. And then who are they? Yatayaha, Yatanashilaha. So they are committed to these kinds of vows, and then what do? They have perfected them. Samshita vrataha. Shita means tikshnikrita, sharpened. Tanukrita, sharpened. So those of sharpened resolve. So the resolve is not weak. So from today I am going to be vegetarian. Definitely. Yes, I have taken a vow of vegetarianism at 11:30 a.m. So 12 noon I smell something. Yes, which is clearly not vegetarian. And then what do I tell myself? There is always a tomorrow. Don't worry, from tomorrow I will be vegetarian. What do we know about tomorrow? It never comes. Never comes. And so therefore here these people are not like the ones described just now. So these people are samshita vrataha, the people who have sharpened their resolve, and they say, no, this is a vow, this is a commitment for me, and this is what I am committed to, and I am going to do this because this commitment is a means for an end. That is, so those are the people called samshita vrataha. Samyak shitani, samyak shitani, tanukritani, tikshnikritani, vratani yesham te. So, tanukritani, tikshnikritani, chvi pratyaya. That which is not sharp is sharpened. In the beginning, the commitment is never sharp. You always feel like going here, going there, and going against the vow that you yourself have taken. You can just say, oh, this just one time I will do this. No, the vow has to be mastered and sharpened. So those who have mastered these vows are called what? Samshita vrataha. Then furthermore yajnas are described. Apane juhvati pranam. Prane panam tatha pare. Prana panagati rudhva. pranayama parayanaha. So there are the 5 vital, what are they called? Pranas, airs. Together they are called pranas. And then, but there is a difference. Each one, when it is talked about, there is a difference. So in verse 29, we have 3 forms of yajna connected to the breath mastery, mastering the breath. So first let us see what this prana and apana are. So prana is defined as urdhva gamanavan. No, is that prana or apana? So prana is urdhva gamanavan vayuhu. No, that is apana. Prak gamanavan vayuhu prana. Prak means the in front. That air which leaves is called prana. In other words, exhalation is what? Prana. Inhalation, adho gamanavan vayuhu, is apana. Adho means it goes inside. So this is apana. Apana means what? Inhalation. Prana means exhalation. So this is not what we normally think of. What do we think of? Prana inhalation, apana exhalation. Now we have to do the headstand here, mental headstand, because that is not the case as far as this goes. So now there are 3 types of pranayamas talked about in verse 20, which was that, 29. So then the mastery of this itself becomes a kind of yajna because of the spirit in which it is done. So then one is called, so the first one is called Puraka Pranayama, and then where the exhalation, the apane juhvati pranam. So the inhalation is offered to the exhalation is offered to the inhalation. So apane juhvati pranam means the inhalation is given prominence over the exhalation. It's the inhalation centered pranayama. And what is the second one? It's the exhalation centered pranayama. It's the opposite of the first one, where the inhalation is offered into the exhalation, and then that one is called Puraka Pranayama, the another one is called Rechaka Pranayama. All this is described in detail in the Yoga Sutras. And then, so then the exhalation is given predominance over inhalation. Prane juhvati apanam. And what is the third one? The third one is Gati Rudhva Pranasya Apanasya Cha. Gati means where the flow of the air, both in the inhalation and also in the exhalation, is what? Is curtailed, is retained inside the lungs or outside the lungs, like this. So this is Kumbhaka Pranayama. So various types of pranayama, parayanaha. Pranayama is the param ayanam yesham te. That is the ultimate goal for whom? These are the pranayama experts. So that is the verse 29. More we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.